Coach, great to see you. I think this is what an opportunity here for what you're doing, right? To kind of bring this spot to the next level. Seems great.
Well, we're excited. We have a unique opportunity. We have a older team. Guys have been in our system for a number of years, and they're excited. They're excited about our conference and how competitive it is, and we're looking forward to the future.
When you have to go back and think about all that you've done and accomplished, from whether it was at Duke, as a player, a coach, Stanford here, how do you sum up all that stuff? How do you tell people like the experiences and like everything that you've learned under all the great people and players? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, I've been fortunate. I've just been fortunate to be around some really good people, and that has allowed me to do some wonderful things, in basketball and outside of it, and having the opportunity to coach, and work under some of the great coaches has been amazing for me, and I have an opportunity to have played under a great coach, same thing. So I just feel fortunate that I was in the right place at the right time to be with really good people, and it's allowed me to do some fun things in the sport.
What's something about Coach K that we don't know? All we know is when we watch him on TV or we see him with interviews and that kind of stuff. Give me some sort of behind the scenes on this guy to maybe either debunk a few notions or whatever anybody has about him. What is he about?
Well, for me, I'm not disclosing any information that may have him having me run sprint still. He probably still make me run right now.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No, he's a everything, his life is an open book, really, and so the things you see is who he is. He's a very passionate man about the game. He coaches with passion. He's he's a family man. His family is a big part of everything that we do, and all the things that you've read about is true. That's who he is, and he treats his team like his family, and we're all part of the same team. And that's how he's coached us, and that's how he not only coached us, but even when in working for him, that's the way he treats you. And so you feel really good. You feel fortunate. You're a part of someone who is going to care as much about your success as he will about the team's success or his own success. And that's the thing I've taken away from him.
What about when you played in the NBA? Give me a couple of guys that you stay in touch with still that were either funny or crazy or not necessarily maybe the best players out of the court. But what were some of your experiences with the teams you were at when you played in the pros?
I had a real good experience. The NBA is also it's a different different level from college, but there's a lot of college type of mentality in it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's coming from college to play for the most part. So you get in college feel at times, and guys that I stay in touch with. I stay in touch with a number of guys, but a few guys, Hersey Hawkins, of course, we were in backcourt in Philly, which was a lot of fun, and so I stay in touch with him. We had one really good year there where we won the Atlantic Division, and that was a special season for us. And also Rick Mahorn.
Right.
He set a lot of good screens for me. A big guy.
That's right. I love hearing all these old school names. It brings you back, right? That was the fun times.
So he was he was great to play with as well. Kenny Payne was my teammate. He also now is assistant coach at Kentucky. So another player that that I stay in touch with. So those are just a few of the guys, but all good good memories. We had some nice experiences, and we're gonna be friends for life. I think a lot of times in sport, whether you're college or pro, when you go through some of the things you go through, in team building and trying to become a successful team, you create bonds that last far beyond the time you played together, and that's what we have.
I just love it back then during that time because every team had an identity, right? You know what I mean? It was almost they added a couple of players each year, but you always knew what to expect, in the 80s and 90s. Wasn't that the best, time, I feel like? I know the NBA is popular now, but I loved it back then.
No, absolutely. Can you imagine you're playing and, you have Ralph Sampson playing freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior season. And he's player of the year probably 3 out of the 4. Yeah. You have Michael Jordan going through your junior year. You have these great players, and then you great play them the following year, and well, they're still there,
Right.
So you have to get better in a lot of other areas because it's not as if they were leaving; they were still staying, and they were only improving themselves. So it was an unbelievable time. Of course, a lot different than now, but like I said, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because you got a chance to see those guys. Multiple years, and you watch them grow. But you also, as a competitor, you get multiple opportunities to go after them and to compete against them.
So you player, coach. How about family? I know your wife and 2 daughters, 2 sons, and one of which, of course, is here, Aubrey. Who must be a real treat, to have him and at the level he plays too, which is phenomenal. So you must be real proud of all that.
No, absolutely. First of all, for us, it's all about family, and so I'm really proud of all of my children, and my wife's done an amazing job. Because as a coach, you can imagine our schedules and times that we keep, is somewhat difficult. But she's done an amazing job helping raise our children, and it's great to have them at home a little. To see my daughter, she just left. She was here for a while, and then she's gone back to North Carolina. I have a son that's here also that's working, that's not playing basketball, so he's here with us for a little time before he goes back to grad school. So that's exciting. And then, of course, Aubrey, the one you mentioned, right. And having the opportunity to coach him, and it's the right time. It was a time where I don't think I would have wanted to coach him from the standpoint I had been so involved in helping him develop as a player and working with him and training him. I said the last thing he probably wanted to hear is my voice coaching him on top of all of that. So. The timing was right. He came at a great time in his career and a great time in my career to where it works. He's at a certain level of maturity, and I've been in the business long enough to understand exactly how this can work from the standpoint of coaching your son, with regards to being on the team.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job here. I think the players obviously look up to you for all the experiences that you've had, so that's certainly a big plus. Before we go, I wanted to kind of see about what you have around here in the office. Show me some of these things that mean a lot to you. I know you got a lot of sayings, a lot of pictures. What do we got here?
Well, they got sayings and pictures. These are. Fortunate. I was director of player development for the Olympic team and that whole process from 2006 to 2008. So that was a picture and got a replica from Jerry Carangelo because coaches can't get medals, so the staff can't, but we get good rings though.
That's awesome.
But it's good to see that, and that's kind of nice. Here you see just former players that I had the opportunity to work with throughout my coaching career. So these aren't guys I played with, but guys I had a chance to work with at various places, when we coached. So that's always fun because each guy, brings back memories of different circumstances. So that's good. And here you have, of course, just things, of course, when I played and back in '86, we won a national championship as an assistant coach on Duke staff in 2001. Of course, that's, they're definitely meaningful. Coach Kazin, right here with Coach Amaker. So the backcourt was together.
That's great.
Right there, which is really good. Here, of course, being a part of Naismith, Player of the Year and All-American trophy from there. Few sayings that I really like, as a coach, that I deliver a message from time to time that I think are important. Burn the ship by, Hernando Cortez and, by Roger Kipling, If. So I think those have been great. And then, of course, some more, the Final Four team, front cover from the Final Four. My family, of course, absolutely, my family. And then a few of the players that were on the Olympic team, pictures with a few of the guys that I worked with during that time. Of course, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. And then here, just different jerseys I wore, different stops I had.
That's where you've been.
So where I've been. So I think it's important to always remember where you've come from.
Absolutely. How all-encompassing is this, right? It's all here probably the last, 30 years,
Yeah.
Plus.
A lifetime experiences, That's the Final Four, a Sweet 16 cheer
Nice.
from, when I was at Stanford. There's a, national championship cheer when we were, with Duke in 2001. So, and then, the journey begins here now at UCF. And you see that wall it doesn't have a lot on it yet, but that's the wall we're building toward. And so you're starting to see, us, add things to the wall that are going to be important with what we're doing here. And that's what this is about. Starting off with Matt Williams, which was a great player for us 2 years ago, one of the best shooters in the conference 2 years ago. All-time leading three-point field goal percentage maker here at UCF. And I think the single season field goal percentage three-point shooter for the American Conference, I believe. And so kind of give you an idea where we're starting with this wall. He was one of my captains, and so that wall is going to start that for us.
Awesome. You're doing an awesome job, Coach. It was great to spend all this time with you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
All right, take care.